Greetings, this is Edward Jumbo. So in this tutorial, I'll show you how easy it is to learn PHP. This is brought to you by your jumboshop.com learning PHP course. PHP is a popular website server-side programming language for building websites. It can be used for desktop and mobile applications that connect to a remote server. I recently used PHP's built-in web server for my chicken security camera application. PHP was also used to handle the uploading of photos from the camera. So the way that my application worked was I used HTML5 to request a device's camera. Then I'll take photos every 3 seconds, and that's where PHP came in. It will be uploaded to the server, which is PHP, and PHP also handled the photos, getting them every 3 seconds, and then it also make them available for display. So meaning that I would use a node phone pointed towards the chicken coop, so the door is open, the girls can go anywhere they want, and then while I'm working, like for example right now I'm doing a live stream, I'll be able to preview and see what's going on. So that let me know that they're fine and they're comfortable. So if something was wrong, I could stop what I'm doing and then go outside and take care of them. So I'm not using the security camera application today because I knew it was going to rain before I started this live stream. So I just put the girls back inside the hoop coop. PHP. For my professional analysis, that PHP will continue to be popular for the foreseeable future. All built PHP built websites and web applications will need to be maintained and upgraded. Therefore, learning PHP in 2025 is not a waste of time. Now, jumboshop.com learning PHP course web ID can be used for tutorial and also inspired this tutorial. So as you can see here, some people might have concerns about learning a new language, for example, the syntax, developer tools, and support. Well, the good thing is PHP is well known, has security updates, has MySQL database integration, email client support for most website needs without additional extensions. So what that means is that you don't, just out of the box, it already comes with enough built-in resources that you don't need to go and extend it. But if you do need to extend it, you can extend it using Composer or extensions PECL. Some of the concerns you might have is, where do I begin? Will the language still be popular in the future? Where can I get support during the learning process? Why don't I learn at school or from an online academy? So I'll answer all those questions. So when you visit learning PHP on jumboshop.com, you can begin your journey towards learning PHP. There are several websites currently written in PHP that will need maintenance and others waiting for someone to program. Therefore, PHP will remain popular for the foreseeable future. I already touched on that a little bit as well. You also get the best support from an experienced PHP programmer. I've been programming with PHP for over 20 years. So the tutorials that I made are both beginner friendly for those beginning to learn how to program, and also others who wish to learn PHP. For example, somebody might be an experienced Python or C++ developer, and they might want to learn PHP. So they already know how to program, they just want to learn a new language. So the tutorials, and I would we'll do 1 or 2 today, are very easy to learn. And I said they're geared to anyone. Anybody can learn. I'll give you an example. When I believe when I started this a while back, maybe about 18 years ago or so, I met someone who had just been laid off from IBM almost 30 something years. And he wanted to learn HTML, especially HTML, and PHP. So I did teach him that, and he couldn't wrap his head around because he had come from the IBM way. I think it's COBOL. So learning, he was so surprised how simple it is. The only thing he had trouble with was actually the HTML part, not PHP. That shows you how easy it is to pick up PHP learning. So the question about the schools, unlike schools and other institutions, you'll be able to communicate with someone who actually uses PHP every day. You also be able to learn at your own pace without the need of development tools. So what this means is that you get all the knowledge and the how-to. When I learned PHP, this was still in the infancy of the web learning, and schools weren't very good, even though I lived in a big city. So you'll be able to communicate with me. So meaning that I have to keep up with all the latest software needs, trends, and all the demands. So that's what you learn as well if you communicate with me. So meaning that I gave this example in an earlier live stream where I said that some of my clients would come to me when they're trying to learn PHP, and they would type some code from somewhere, and they say, hey, how come this is not working? Now look at it, and I say, oh my goodness, that's from PHP 4.0. That's been outdated for probably at least a decade and a half, right? But people, those are still very popular. They still people. That's how people start. So that's good that they started. So I then help them and guide them towards the latest. For example, time of this recording, I believe in November 2024 is when PHP 8.4 came out. So you can still use the book and the course. They're based on PHP 8.2. I'm going to upgrade it to 8.3 and 8.4 later on in 2025, but it's still early 2025, so everything there is still accurate, and it will work in 8.4 as well. How I know it will work in 8.4 because I'm using Fedora Linux. Yours has the latest and greatest software, and it does work fine. So the only requirement that you actually need is a web browser. You can use the built-in web IDE to view your code and compile it online to view the results. So the good thing about using the web browser is that you don't need any other tools. I mean, you can work on a tablet, your mobile device, phone, smartphone, obviously on the desktop as well. And this is you can get the Learning PHP course on ojambo.com for your web browser for any device which has a web browser. So you learn at your own pace 24/7. There are no subscriptions. There's a one-time fee. You can submit questions for a reasonable turnaround. And for example, just this video, if you have any questions, I'll be able to answer them. You can comment, like, subscribe, and so forth. So there's also the book version of the course. The only difference between the course and the book is that the book will not come with a web IDE and compiler. So you need to provide your own. You can simply download PHP from php.org, the pre-built binaries, and you can go from there, or you can get it in another way, such as a bundle in some application. And as you can see here, these are screenshots. These screenshots were actually taken from the course, but they're and you see that they actually looks like this. Even the screenshots here for the course, so they actually does look like this, and I'll show that to you in a second. So let's head over to the course. So you just go to you click here. It will take you to the ojamboshop.com Learning PHP course. Can you see the price and everything here? So you can simply add it to your cart. It's just a one-time fee. It's not subscription. There's no subscriptions. And see down here, you have all the screen. You can take a look at the screenshots. And I said these are true screenshots taken of the IDE and the output here. You see this one. This is the Hello World example, and we'll take a look at that. So then to log in, you go to My Account. You can go to anywhere in My Account as long as it's paid content. So once you pay, so I'll log into My Account just to show you what it actually looks like. So let me first of all make sure I do this securely. So as I was saying is once you log in, you can go to click paid content here, or the sub menu, you scroll down to paid content, or in the menu here, click on paid content. And then you can pick which of the paid content. Obviously in this case, it's Learning PHP. So the first time you go to Learning PHP page, this is what it would actually look like. It will look like this. Then you can go to the About page, which is number 2. You can go to chapter 3. So I'm going to jump to chapter 3 here. I've searched chapter 1, getting started. You can also use down here to go to it. I'm not going to go through everything. I just want to go to the syntax. Yeah, here we go. This is what I want. So as you can see, just to make it easier for you, you do need to have the PHP syntax here in order to type some code. So for example, here I can simply type in, you see this echo hello world. So I just type echo hello and hit compile, and you see it comes up here, hello. And obviously I can also change this to hello world, and then I click compile, and you see, so I should, if I clear it, and then I can type it in again. So I can say echo hello world. Okay, the reason I don't erase the previous code here is because you might still want to see it. Maybe you're doing something, you're adding or testing, so that's why I do. But if you can simply click the clear button, and as you can see, remember when we first started, remembered where we left off last time. So for example, if I go to the home page and I pick this guy again, so now if I go back to paid content and I pick PHP, you see it remembered where we left off. We left off on the syntax page. You can also navigate down here, the syntax, which is page number 5. So as I promised, as you see, this is the IDE. You just type in your code here in a web browser, and then you click compile to output here. So this is why I was saying proof is you don't need to install PHP locally or have your on text editor. All you need is a web browser. It does work also on the mobile version. I can prove that to you. So for example, if I make this smaller, you can see it still works. You see it still works on the smaller screen. So if you have a tablet or anything, it will still work for you. Okay, so let's go back to the article. So I'll make sure when you're done, you log out as well. You just log out. Okay, now we'll go back to the article here to finish up. So that's the Learning PHP course. It's available on ojamboshop.com. The links are in the description. It's available 24/7. You don't need, it's a one-time fee. There are no subscriptions. You will be able to learn like control statements, functions, arrays, strings, and more. And then there's also the book version available in the ebook. And again, the only difference is it doesn't come with obviously an IDE and compiler. You can get that from php.org or some container to have it, and then you can just type and compile your code that way. That's for the ebook version. Okay, so I suggest you take this opportunity to learn PHP programming by making one-time purchase at a Learning PHP course on ojamboshop.com. A web browser is the only thing needed to learn PHP in 2025 at your leisure. All developer tools are provided right in the web browser. Another option is to get the Learning PHP book from Amazon, where you provide your own version of PHP to compile the code if you're not using the web IDE provided by the course. So the links are also here on the references. So the link is ojambo.com/learning-php-2025. Okay, so I'll stop here and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.